Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Casting for Two with your host, me, that random guy named Chris. I'm excited for today's episode, but of course, I got to get some announcements out of the way. You can Twitter and Instagram me both at Casting for Two. Also, you can email me, castingfor2@gmail.com. I'm also now on Stitcher, so if you have an iPhone or an Android device, maybe not, I don't know if it works on Windows, I don't know, or Palm, or BlackBerry, I'm not sure. Well, you can always, I don't know. I'm making it easier to find me because I want everyone to listen. So you can just Stitcher Casting for Two. Also, I have a newly refreshed website as well. Makes it a lot easier to keep in contact with me. You can keep up on the show's Instagram. You know, it's all there. It's all there, so that you can keep in contact with me, because I want to keep in contact with you because I like you guys. I like all the guys and the girls. But anyway, I'm done wasting time. I need to get into today's guest for episode number 77. I have a repeat guest, and it's Will Knauer from Someone Still Loves You, Boris Yeltsin. And I'm so excited to have him back on the show. He was on in my first year, my first couple of months. And I'm excited to chat with him again. And they have a new album coming out June 2nd. And it is called The High Country. So it'll be out after this episode. So listen to this episode, wait in line, get the album. And I want you guys to get into this episode, so that means I have to be quiet now. So sit back, relax, and Chris, cue that music.
Yeah, this is Will.
Hey, Will, it's Chris from Casting for Two.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Pretty good.
How's the beginning of your morning going so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. I'm making my girlfriend mow the lawn and hanging out inside. So
there we go. Whereabouts are you at? Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm at home right now in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay. Is it raining over there?
Actually, it's a really beautiful day.
Oh, okay. Because I'm in San Antonio, for some reason, it's been dark and gloomy pretty much this whole week.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't make my girlfriend mow the lawn. So.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm excited to have you on the show again. I don't know if you remember, but we chatted like 2 years ago, and it was awesome because I was just starting the podcast, and I had you on, and it was just exciting. I feel like I don't know why, I feel like I get another opportunity to chat with you, which is great.
Cool. Oh, thanks.
Because over those 2 years, I would say I have become more of a fan of your guys' music. So when I saw the new album, I was like, yes, I gotta have him back.
Cool, awesome. It's good to hear.
Yeah. Well, first things I want to know is why did you guys record the album in Seattle?
Well, our last album we recorded in Springfield by ourselves, and it was kind of a unique process. We sort of hadn't finished writing the songs when we were recording them. And so to me, looking back on it, it seems more like an experiment. Like, what happens if you lock me, Phil, and Jonathan in an attic for 2.5 months and are forced to write and record an album?
Mm-hmm.
And that was Fly by Wire. And I think it was pretty neat because it definitely turned out in a way we couldn't have planned. And I think piecing together an album like that ended up with like some really beautiful results in like the sound, because we had so many instruments and things on so many tracks that it was kind of like a wonderland of sounds, and I think it's pretty dense. And so when it came time to do this album, we were a 4-piece again with Tom playing bass, and the songs seemed a little bit more aggressive this time. And so we tried to record them up in the attic by ourselves just because we weren't sure how else to do it, or we didn't really have any plans and we weren't sure of our schedule or anything. So we started doing that, and it just wasn't turning out the same because we were trying to record all the instruments live this time up in the attic instead of piecing the songs together. And it wasn't working the way we had hoped it would. So we took a hiatus and we went on tour in Europe, and we got back and we decided to kind of reassess the situation. So we decided to just really practice all the songs so we would know them really well this time, like actually have the songs finished. And then we just felt like we needed a breath of fresh air. We needed to go somewhere else and let somebody else run the controls. And just all we would have to worry about is playing the songs live and just rocking out, and somebody else would be in charge of all the sounds and capturing that. So we just kind of focused on how we sound playing live together. So yeah, we went to the studio, and that's what we did. We just kind of captured us playing together. Just that power that happens instead of piecing the songs together. So it was, I think it's a really nice contrast to Fly by Wire. I think they both represent a different side to us. So I think it's always great to have a chance to appeal to lots of different audiences and showcase a different side of yourself.
No, definitely. I mean, when I listen to Fly by Wire and the new album, it sounds the High Country. I mean, I can tell it's you guys, but tonally, it's the High Country does sound a bit more, I guess, rockier. I guess I'm not too up to date with terms, but and then Fly by Wire sounds a bit more mellow, a bit more calm.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you guys in Seattle?
6 days. We were. It was pretty fast. I think that's why all the songs are under 3 minutes, because we didn't have time to make them any longer. So I think we were there for 7 days, and the first day we got there, we rented a car, and the first thing we did was go to a sensory deprivation tank.
Okay.
Have you heard of these places?
I've heard of. That's where you just like are still in like something like a tube, like something in water.
Yeah, you get placed in a little tank of water in pitch black,
mm-hmm.
and the water is infused with so much salt that you just float,
uh-huh.
and you wear earplugs so you can't see or hear anything, and your mind just kind of like wanders into the universe, and it's supposed to just really relax you. And we thought this would be a great way to just kind of go crazy or lose our minds before we went into the studio.
So you didn't?
Yeah.
Did anybody just kind of get out of the tank screaming or just freaking out?
Well, our friend Nathan came along with us. He's kind of like our manager and good friend. So he was reluctant to do it at first.
Uh-huh.
And he actually had like one of the best experiences. So I think we all came out okay. Some of us, I think, like Tom had some cuts on his like fingers, so like the salt water was like burning him the whole time.
Oh,
I don't think he could quite relax the way Phil and I did, but it's kind of like what I've always been looking for. So yeah, it's good.
I definitely have to try that. There's some place in Florida where there's a room where they seal you in, and it's absolutely quiet, where you can literally hear everything that your body does. And the record for somebody lasting in there is probably like less than 12 hours, because then they start to go a little crazy.
Yeah.
How long were you in there?
I think we did an hour.
Okay.
About 1 hour.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I understand what you mean. There's at the studio Hall of Justice that we recorded at, there's a special room in like the far back corner that's called a dead room. And when you go in there and close the door, there's no sound, like not even the sound of air. And yeah, it's like, it's pretty eerie. It's a kind of bizarre experience. You think you've experienced like dead silence, but there's a difference between what you think of dead silence and actually being in a dead room. So
and
kind of weird.
I would just like to experience that, just to see if knowing me, I would probably just sit there and start, splashing the water. I couldn't be able to just lay there still.
Right. Yeah.
I would try to make noise so that the other people hear me, and I can mess with their visions or whatever they're going through. That's what I would try to do. I would try to do Inception with all of them.
Yeah.
But what kind of things did you experience in there? Like, what did you see?
I was trying not to see anything. I was just trying to shut off my mind as much as possible. But then I'd get like a song stuck in my head and I'd try to get it out, and I just kind of, being able to float on water was such like a unique sensation that I was kind of pushing off the walls and just bouncing around a little bit, and kind of playing a little bit. I think if I did it 3 days in a row, apparently the more you do it, the easier it is for your mind to kind of drift off. So that was kind of like the introductory session. And, I don't know. I was trying to just like see the universe.
Now, do you think this is going to be a normal band experience?
If there was one closer to Springfield, I think maybe it would be like the one thing we all did together.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Just for you guys, I'm going to open up that business over there so that you guys, and it's only going to be for you guys.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm already out of business.
Cool. You're going to make us go even more insane than we already are. So. Can't wait for the next record.
There we go. But so when it was come time to record the High Country, is there one song that you like more? Like you like them all, but is there one that was just really fun to record?
Man, well, there was one song that ended up on the record that we actually did record in the attic, and we never expected it to be the final version for the record. Phil and I were just kind of jamming on it, and we'd like done some demos of it, but we weren't sure what the final product would be like. And so I think he was playing drums. Yeah, he was playing drums and I was playing guitar, and then Tom came over and he started playing this really big organ that somebody had given to me, this like really big old church organ, and the sound of that like really just kind of started to glue it together. So we just did this like long Sonic Youth jam, and then I started showing Tom like the chords and the arrangement, and I just quickly set up a few basic microphones, and we did like a few takes. I don't think we even had a metronome, and we did like 3 takes, and the last one sounded really awesome. So then Phil plugged in an acoustic guitar through a bunch of distortion pedals, and it just sounded insane, like just this crazy guitar, and it just fit perfectly. So then I did some scratch vocals later that day, like really quickly. And then Jonathan came over and he sat down, and I was like, "Hey, Jonathan, you should listen to this thing we recorded yesterday." And he spent about 5 minutes mixing it. And when he was done, it just like totally sounded different. It sounded like kind of complete to me, and just kind of blew my mind, like what we had done without meaning to. So we kind of kept this in mind that this like could be the finished version, but we were worried that like the drums wouldn't really fit in with the rest of the drums that we would record at the studio. So while we were at the studio, after a few days, we kind of opened up this song again and listened to it, and decided that most of it was kind of usable. So we recorded the drums at the studio. I did one more guitar, and then Bo Sorensen mixed it, and we used it on the album. And that song was track 6, "What I Won." So
okay.
that was kind of like a really nice moment for me, because we kind of used the best of both worlds, and it was nice to kind of have a song that just like the three of us played together, because like that's how we started playing music, like together up in the attic, and it was nice to kind of like capture that a little bit. So I think that was a good song, but then they were all fun to record at the studio. So
right on. Were there any songs that were a little bit more complicated to crack, that kind of lyrically or musically?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. There were a couple where we were just kind of confused what direction they would take, and had done a lot of demos. I know we had some trouble. We didn't really have trouble, but I think there were some songs that took a lot more takes. Mm-hmm. I think, Magnet's New Summer Dew was a song that just had some like weird time signatures, which we don't usually do, and I think we just had to practice that one a lot. It just came down to like just practicing. But once we got to the studio, we made sure to like really prepare well, which was something like we hadn't really ever done before. So I think we wanted to make sure. We knew we only had 6 days, so we wanted to come in ready to be able to not waste any time and really make the most of that. So yeah.
Right. And why did you guys decide to call it the High Country?
Tom came up with that idea. I think Tom Hanks actually uses that term a lot in movies. And in my mind, it's kind of like it's the high road of countries. And we at first we were a little hesitant, because we were worried that everybody would think it was about a reference to marijuana, or like some of like the new laws being passed in America, or like it was some kind of social criticism. But really, there's no relation to that. It's just we thought it's kind of a cool sounding title. And then somebody pointed out that the abbreviation or the acronym is the High Country is THC. So we're like, okay, we're not getting out of this one now. So I'm not even going to
and I have to ask, so on your last album, Fly By Wire, you had a song called Harrison Ford. Did you ever hear anything from him or his camp about it?
No, we never did. So I'm not sure if he was too busy with the new Star Wars movie and we'll get sued like next year. But so far so good. We never heard anything, nothing positive or negative came from him. But hopefully he's like touched by it.
Right. You know, I bet he does have that on a playlist somewhere.
I hope so. Yeah. Of course he does.
When he broke his leg, you know, he was kind of sad. So he's like, you know what, I'm just going to listen to music that has my name in it. And so he just listened to that one song over and over.
That's probably why he healed so quickly.
Without you guys, he wouldn't have been able to finish Star Wars.
Right. So without us, there'd be no new Star Wars movie.
There you go. Now you're just going to do Star Wars themed songs now.
Finally.
Now all I have is like a Star Wars album going on in my head. I can't wait for the Mark Hamill song.
Okay.
Mark Hamill.
I
forgot the guy Billy D. Williams. That writes itself right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Yeah.
Are you guys going on tour anytime soon with the new album?
Yeah, we're going to be doing, I think the tour sort of starts around June 20th. Mm-hmm. We're having a CD release show May 30th in Springfield. Mm-hmm. And then the touring this time around will be a little different. We're not doing 2 weeks or a month at a time. I think we're doing mostly weekend shows. So probably a lot of like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday shows, and still going to hit all the main markets, but it'll be a bit more spaced out. So I think June, July, and August, I think most weekends we'll kind of be trying to hit the big cities, and hopefully getting to see everybody who wants to see us. So yeah, we're going to play as much as we can.
Is there one city that you're kind of you're more excited to go to?
I'm trying to think if there's any new cities. I don't think we're doing any new cities this time. It's always fun to get to a new place. Yeah, it would just kind of be nice to go anywhere that we have friends or people that we haven't seen. So there's not really one city. It's more of just the idea of being on tour again that I'm looking forward to.
Okay. You're not really like food motivated. Like I want to go to this city to eat this food, or some region specific, city specific.
Well, it'd be nice to kind of on the West Coast. After spending time in Japan on tour and stuff, we really like Japanese food, and I think the West Coast is the closest. And I think New York City, but yeah, the West Coast has kind of the more authentic sushi places, or more like traditional Japanese food is available there. In Missouri, we're kind of like as far from the coast as possible. So yeah, it'll be nice to get more opportunity from the bigger cities.
I hear Wichita has the best Japanese food, so you guys need to go there.
Okay.
They're known for their Japanese food.
Cool.
Just a little heads up. So,
cool.
So if you can, where can people pick up the album and keep track of you guys?
Well, they can just order it from Polyvinyl Records, or they can go to our Facebook page, SSLIBY, and find it. And then hopefully in a local record store. I would check like a local record store before going to Amazon or some big place. But it should be available on iTunes and all the usual places. But yeah, if you can find it from a small and unique place, I kind of recommend that. Yeah. And also, if you come see us on tour, you can buy it from us at the merch table, and we'll sign it and give you a couple high fives and talk to you and stuff. So
there we go. So if you want a high five, go see them and buy the album.
That's right. A high five for the high country.
There we go. No THC.
No THC.
All righty, Will. I'll let you go back to relaxing or watching your girlfriend do yard work, whatever you got to do.
Okay, let me clarify this too, because she's actually from Japan, and mowing the lawn is something that is really awesome and exciting, because it seems very American, and there's not as much chance to do that in Japan. So
that's very true.
Like
yeah,
it's a fun thing to get to do. So I'm gonna tag in whenever she's ready. So I'm on standby.
Gotcha. Okay. What other American things does she like to do, or that she has experienced?
Well, we're going to go to a baseball game.
There we go.
Actually, we went to a Springfield Cardinals baseball game last week, and they asked me to come down onto the field in between innings and be part of the lip sync battle. So I think her sitting in the stands watching me on the Jumbotron singing a Spice Girls song was like probably like the best thing I could have done. So.
Oh, that is. I want footage of that. I'm going on YouTube. I'm gonna find it.
And also Mexican food. We've been eating a lot of Mexican food.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Which is good. So.
Well, that's awesome. That's great. And okay, so I'll let you go so you can tag in whenever you need to.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Well, you have a good one, and hopefully I can see you when you come out to Texas.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
All right. You have a good one. Okay.
Okay. You too.
Bye-bye.